that 1 year he did before, and this is the first time we are seeing another, this sort of dynamic. How credible is he?
Very, very credible. There's no doubt about that. The truth is that in 2016, it was a very tough year. Don't forget, the MPP had been in opposition for 8 years. President Mahama took over with a very difficult situation. Commodity prices had tumbled. The situation was tough. We had even gone for an IMF program, and the MPP used the IMF program big time against President Mahama. In fact, going to an IMF program was synonymous to incompetence. To cut a long story short, he lost by about 1 million. 2020, he stood against President Akufo-Addo. President Akufo-Addo used this same IMF program against President Mahama. Anytime you criticize the MPP, the response was that, but you took us to IMF. But you took us to IMF. It was very, very normal for them to say that. Irrespective of that, he clawed back about 600,000 votes. And so he really pushed. And then our parliamentary minority, which was very, very slim, I think about 90 something, we brought it to about 137. But for the problem we are having with the
leadership quizzing?
Yes, because he won. I mean, as for the votes, he won. It's just legal issues with respect to his nationality that is denying him. Other than that, we put up a very good show for the 2020 elections. We even went to court and insisted that some of the issues were not properly dealt with, but the court is ruled. So now, fast forward, we're going to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The dynamics are changing.
How?
People are now beginning to see the true MPP in terms of their economic record. Dr. Baumia, for instance, was presented as an economic wizard, and that irrespective of the challenge, he had a magic wand to deal with the situation. Now we are realizing that that is not the situation after all. For the first time in the history of this country, as I said, under the fourth Republican dispensation, we are defaulting on all these payments. Even under President Mahama's IMF, we never defaulted, and we never had this kind of challenges we are seeing. This level of inflation, we never had it. So it's a situation that we are all assessing. I'm sure the MPP is also assessing it. We are also assessing it. We have to find a way of presenting our candidate, like you said, as a credible candidate, telling Ghanaians the challenges, telling Ghanaians what he did in terms of infrastructure, in terms of health sector, the energy sector, and all that. And some of us have to lead that charge. Some of us have to lead that debate and tell the people of Ghana why they need one, President Mahama, and why they need the NDC. And I think that it wouldn't be as difficult as one would have had the situation.
Because the MPP has helped your case.
In 2020. Not just that, naturally, when you stay in power for a while, even as an MP, there's some level of attrition, naturally. And also, the MPP came up with very, very promising slogans. I mean, employment, NAPCO was a key issue. Even in 2020, the campaign was that if you vote for President Mahama, he will cancel NAPCO. Now we've seen that NAPCO is not sustainable. So the dynamics are changing. And so I do not always want to rush to draw conclusions. But I'm convinced that President Mahama has a very, very, very good chance of winning and becoming president.
I mean,
the ground is very fertile for him. And more importantly, you also need the party's unity.
Yeah, I'll come to that. Stay with me, because that